Hello. In linguistics, the word tone refers to the use of pitch to convey meaning, but the way tone functions can vary dramatically across the world's languages. While pitch is simply the auditory perception of how high or low a sound is, like apologies, tone is what happens when pitch becomes meaningful. So tone is especially important in what we call tone or tonal languages. These are languages in which pitch isn't just expressive, it's lexical. That means it forms part of a word's core identity. Let's take the famous example from Mandarin Chinese. The syllable ma, ma, can mean 4 completely different things depending solely on its tone. And I apologize for my Chinese pronunciation, but ma is a high level tone, which means mother. Then you have a rising tone, ma, which means hemp. You have a falling rising tone, such as ma, which means horse. And you have a ma, falling tone, which means to scold. Again, don't take my word for it that those pronunciations were exact, but you get the idea. The sequence of consonants and vowels is identical in each case. What changes the meaning is the pitch pattern applied to the syllable. So this is tone, a systematic use of pitch to differentiate words. Importantly, tonal languages do not use absolute pitch, like C sharp or middle G, for example, middle C, sorry. What matters is relative pitch, so how one tone compares to another. And in most tone languages, the syllable is the domain of tone. That's where the pitch contrast lives. So there are different types of tone languages, and the 2 primary ones are register tone languages or level tone languages, and these languages use steady state pitches, typically high, mid or low tones, and the pitch remains relatively flat across the syllable. This is common in many West African languages like Yoruba or Igbo. For example, in Yoruba, the word owo, O-W-O, with different register tones can mean money, respect, or broom. And then there are contour tone languages. These languages use pitch movements, tones that rise, fall, dip, or combine those movements within a syllable. This is typical of Southeast Asian languages, such as Thai or Vietnamese, and Mandarin or Cantonese. And these tones often follow complex melodic contours like rise, fall, or fall, rise, as we've seen. In both types of these language groups, tone is an essential part of the lexicon, and not just a stylistic or emotional feature. Mispronouncing a tone can completely change a word's meaning. In contrast, many languages like English, French, and Spanish are non-tone languages. They don't use tone to distinguish words, but they do use intonation, which also involves pitch. So intonation is the use of pitch variation over entire phrases or sentences to signal things like question versus statement. You're coming, you're coming. Attitude or emotion. Really? Which might signal disbelief or sarcasm. And discourse structure, so indicating new versus given information or contrast. So while tone and intonation rely on pitch, they function differently. In tone languages, tone is lexical. It's part of what a word means. In intonation languages, if you want to call them that, pitch is pragmatic. It helps interpret how something is being said. This distinction is crucial in language teaching. For English learners from tone language backgrounds, it's important to make clear that while English uses pitch patterns, they don't define word meanings. Conversely, for English speakers learning a tone language, the idea that a word's meaning can change entirely with pitch is often a new and challenging concept, as I probably demonstrated in this video. So in summary, tone is the linguistic use of pitch to distinguish meaning at the word level. It's a feature of tone languages where each syllable may carry a specific tone, either a level pitch or a moving contour, that must be learned and used accurately to avoid confusion. Tone is not just music in speech, it is language itself. Understanding how tone works and how it differs from intonation allows us to appreciate the rich diversity of the world's languages and to teach and learn them with greater precision and respect. Thank you.